taking a completely different approach, though. I'm surprised at Philly. Because every single time I keep thinking about going to Philly, I said, listen, I'm going to go over to Kensington Avenue. But guess what happened for a second night in a row, right after the Millionaire Morning Show? Guess what happened for the second night in a row over there in Philly? They did the same thing that they did yesterday. They hit the Apple store, the Lululemon store yesterday. And today they probably hit AutoZone, trying to get some catalytic converters. Today they hit AutoZone. Who knows? I don't know where they hit. But for the second night in a row, Philadelphia experienced looting. That means that nobody was holding their kids accountable and keeping them in the house. But I'm going to give a little bit of credit to Philly. I'm going to lay off of Philly not so much, but a little bit today, because at least Philly started putting their police, and they enabled their police to start arresting these little monsters. Let's go and see what's happening over at Philly.
In Philadelphia, there's been a second straight night of looting.
What up, Mira?
Stores throughout the city were ransacked last night.
What up?
Dozens of suspects have been arrested in these robberies. Waukesha Bailey from our CBS station in Philadelphia has more on the story. Waukesha, these stories and these video is so upsetting. Good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning, Gail. It's really heartbreaking. Nat's Beauty Supply Store here in Philadelphia is just one of dozens of businesses that's been left in shambles after last night's looting. Now, I did speak with the owner, and she tells me that her business has only been opened for 6 months. Overnight surveillance video captures the moment a group breaks into this business. In less than 1 minute, they swipe merchandise off the walls and shelves, leaving.
Hold on, look at all of them zesty people that just ran up in there. Hold on, let me back that up real quick. Look at how they pranced in.
Overnight surveillance video captures the moment a group breaks into this business. In less than 1 minute, they swipe merchandise.
Oh, no, that ain't zesty. Those are some hood rats. Those are hood rats. Yo, we got a bunch of hood rats busting into the beauty supply. Listen. Please don't tell me how y'all for the community. We got hood rats dressing up and busting into the black-owned businesses in order to steal bundles. Oh, my God. You got to be kidding me. No, y'all didn't bust into the beauty supply store in order to steal some bundles. At first, I thought that there was some zesties. I was like, what was these zesties running in here like that, prancing in? And I said, wait a minute, those are black women. Those are black women. Let's hear it. Let's see how y'all steal from y'all own. See, y'all don't just steal from the people that's going to take the insurance money. Y'all don't just steal from the people that's going to take the insurance money and move out. Y'all stealing from the ones that's in your own community that open up businesses in your community. You know how disheartening it got to be?
It's off the walls and shelves, leaving Nat's Beauty Supply in ruins.
How am I supposed to fix this? What's next? Because I don't know.
Elsewhere in Philadelphia, smashed windows, broken bottles, and shelves wiped clean of merchandise is what remains of this liquor store. Thieves grew even bolder on Wednesday, ripping out what was once an ATM at this Wells Fargo bank. The looting rampage began Tuesday night when throngs of mostly young people forced their way into the stores, filling up trash bags with merchandise.
Courts need to make sure these people pay a price for what they did.
So far, police have made 52 arrests. These grab-and-run crimes have become a familiar scene in many stores across the country. Nationwide, retailers lost $112 billion last year.
Because of what we're seeing on the theft and the violence, those factors are starting to play a higher role in the retailer's decision to close.
Those impacts hitting major retailers like Target, which is closing 9 stores across 4 states next month because of theft. And despite the destruction, Nat's Beauty Supply store here in Philadelphia says that they still plan to open their doors today. Now, we have seen quite a bit of police presence throughout the city in response to yesterday's looting. Meanwhile, officials tell us that they are prepared to make arrests.
Look at the store. Look at the store. Y'all want to see y'all queen? Listen, women don't support women. Look at that woman. This is a hard-working woman that put her blood, sweat, and tears into opening a store in the community because y'all said that y'all want to shop in somebody else's store that look like you. And the minute that you've seen an opportunity to break in and steal some bundles, who's steal hair? Who's stealing hair? And then a lot of y'all wanted to sit here and have a conversation with me talking about, Anton, this is payback, civil unrest for the determination of them finding a person not guilty for what happened. No, these are anarchists and opportunists that run into your community, steal from your stores, destroy your neighborhood, run the property values low, don't have any more funding for schools because everybody tore up everything in the neighborhood, and then you're going to sit here and blame it on the system. You're going to blame it on the system. That's what you're going to do. You're going to blame it on systematic oppression when this is really just an opportunity for you to come up and leverage somebody else's pain for your gain. A temporary solution for a long-term problem. This is pure anarchy. This is nothing but the purge. This is nothing but the purge. You steal from anybody. You don't care who it is. You don't care if they look like you. Listen, stealing is stealing, but I just want to remove the excuse that y'all always making and that you stealing from the man. No, you stealing from her. You stealing from her. You're stealing from somebody that look just like you. Now you don't have any excuse as to whether or not it's systematic anymore. So now that we remove that excuse, now that we know that you're not just stealing from men, you also stealing from women. You stealing from women that look like you. You stealing from women that's hardworking. You keep talking about how you support the community. Y'all keep talking about all of this, but you don't have no smoke for the people that's stealing and killing, and you know who did it. You know where the bundles are. You know where the wigs are. You know that wig don't fit you. And you now are taking from the very people that are putting the stores and the businesses and people to work and paying salaries and the taxes in your community. Do y'all know how disheartening it is from somebody to take from you and you put your blood, sweat, and tears into something? I remember I went to go and put a house, and this was a long time ago. This was like in 2010. And I had bought some properties in a distressed area, and we were going to fix it up, and we were going to, because my biggest thing when I moved out of Detroit at that time, because it was really, really bad around 2008, my biggest thing when I had moved out of the city, before I moved out of the city, was that, man, if all of the good people leave, then what's going to happen to the rest of the people? And so I had bought some properties in a distressed area, and we were putting a lot of money into them, and we had put like $25,000 because we had just started the project into the property. And we went and we locked it up and everything like that. And we came back the next morning and everything that we bought was all stolen and probably taken back to wherever it is that we got it from. And it was at that very moment that I said, all right, that was my wake-up call. That was my wake-up call. It wasn't fully my wake-up call because I wound up suffering some more. When I had opened up my first restaurant and I built it out and I took y'all through the journey on my other YouTube channel when doing it, and I hired people that look like me, and I was serving the community. The people that supported me the most wasn't the people that looked like me. It was the people that didn't look like me. They were coming from far and wide in order to rock with me because they rock with my content. They had rock with the urban exploration videos, right? We was running it up, all of that. But the people that I hired, the people that looked like me, the people that was rocking with me, broke a window, stealing the phones. As soon as we would get a delivery, they would steal money. They was pocketing the money, wasn't even charging the customers because they had got so familiar with the prices, right? We missing all of the food. They caught their friends and family coming in the middle of the night. We getting alerts like, hey, who was in the store? And how come the door is not broken down? Oh, it's employees, and he in there cooking for his friends and his family. As soon as you get a delivery, it's going right out the door because they said, okay, Anton is catching on to us stealing. And so now we could see whole boxes of turkey legs and chicken wings come in, and then they going right back out the door. We like, hey, we didn't sell out of all of them chicken wings, did we? Everybody just looking like they don't know what's going on. Meanwhile, they stealing you blind. You have no clue what it's like to have to deal with people that destroy you, that you actually have their best interests at heart. I feel her pain. I feel her pain. I've been through it. I went through it. This is why I'm sitting here with you today and able to hold people accountable, because all of these people online that talk all of this stuff, let me help you to understand something. They ain't never built nothing for nobody, and they don't know what you go through as a result of trying to do something that's best for your community. They don't know what it's like to be spat on. They don't know when you put $114,000 into a business or into a restaurant and they steal you blind as a result of it. They don't know the fact that you paying huge wages. Do you know I paid my people on average like $18 an hour back then, starting off? Young dudes, young women that got kids and children. They didn't have cars, but it was a close enough location for them to be able to walk to work. And I was paying them between $18 and $20 an hour just to start off. And they stealing from you? I was paying people out of my pocket because we had to make sure that they was taken care of early, because she had to get her kid from custody and all of this other type of stuff. Can I get my check early in time? Yeah. I switched over from paying people every 2 weeks to every 1 week in order to make sure that they had money in their pocket. People showing up drunk. People that ain't never built nothing don't understand what it's like to have to deal with nonsense that you deal with in your community and from the people that look like you. But I'm going to just tell you, it happens every single day. And the good ones, just like in a relationship, are the ones that suffer the most. It's a fact, though. I never abandoned my city. My city abandoned me at that particular time. But I always been here and always been rocking out. And so all of these other people that's online talking this nonsense and this blackity black junk miss me with it, because you ain't there. You ain't never been nothing for nobody other than yourself. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of what's happening in these communities, and we not holding each other accountable as a result of it. You can steal from me. You can kill me. You can take my stuff. And then you can say free your cousin that did it, and he's supposed to do a lightened sentence just because we want jail reform? Stop it. Stop it. Should be ashamed of yourselves.
Stores across Philadelphia either closed, boarded up, and in some cases both after a long night of looting.
More than 50 people have been arrested so far, including 3 juveniles. Police say they responded to more than 70 incidents since last night. They're also investigating how 7 vehicles were stolen off a lot in the Northeast.
Now, this all followed peaceful protests that were in response to a judge dismissing all charges against former Philadelphia officer Mark Dial in the deadly shooting of Eddie Irizarry, and police stressing that the looting had nothing to do with those protests. I'm Jason Martinez.
I'm Sheba Russell. We're also learning that all fine wine and good spirit stores in Philly, and also one in Montgomery County, are closed today after 18 stores were looted.
But guess what? All of the bookstores still got books in them. All of the Kindles are still there. The grocery store still got all of their apples, but all of the liquor stores is looted. Cigarettes, tobacco, and liquor all taken. And they took some Doritos just for good measure. But the apples, the fruit, the bananas, the tomatoes, the celery, the onions, the asparagus, all of that stuff, and the books. Warren Buffett's Buffettology, right? Winning by Tim Grover, How to Win Friends and Influence People, Random Walk Down Wall Street, all of those good books. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F by Mark Manson, I think that's what his name is. Huh? All of those are still there. All of those, the bookstore is unscathed. There isn't a footstep around the bookstore, but all 18 liquor stores ransacked. And beauty supply stores.
We've got you covered tonight.
Our Shana Ferreira spoke with one of the owners of several pharmacies that were hit, but let's start
with
Steve
the pharmacy
Keeley out surveying the damage.
Jesus
and if
Christ.
Police are preparing for even more looting tonight. Steve.
Yeah, and talking to shoppers upset that they can't buy a bottle of wine that they wanted to take to the local BYOB, and they didn't know why. And that was because they're closed until further notice. Even though no employees in all those Pennsylvania liquor stores were hurt, they're understandably shaken. And so that's why they're shut down for the time being, and we'll see if they reopen. Same goes for a lot of other stores, but here where I am, it's the fashion district. Folks in Philadelphia who lived as long as I have in this town know it's as the gallery still. Police all over this place, and sadly they're here because as they were kind of a step behind last night. Tonight, they're 2 steps ahead, they say, and they came here because they got word on social media that there was going to be trouble planned for this place at 3, and they may have quelled that by being here in big numbers. Look at the video I shot when I got here. I was running around trying to catch up to them. I was doing a 4-block radius, and they were on bikes. We saw sheriff's deputies in big numbers, big groups, patrolling and showing a good deterrence kind of presence all around Center City, but circling this large mall. This is where the Sixers want to build their arena, so it's been in the news lately. They had trouble earlier this year. You remember they instituted a curfew and an ID situation for young people. And then we saw Philadelphia police on their bikes out on the front side on Market Street, just waiting at the front door, trying to stay out of the way, not trying to intimidate anybody, but just being here just in case. And as we saw with all those arrests last night, it's usually youth causing the trouble here. And as everybody thought it was all juveniles that were being arrested, surprisingly, of the 52 arrests...